Rian Johnson, the director behind the polarizing Star Wars, The Last Jedi, is once again making headlines, this time for his candid take on Star Wars Episodes I-3. In a refreshingly honest revelation, Johnson admitted that he and his friends were not exactly fans of the prequel trilogy during its original release. In fact, he called their group Prequel Hate Central. The filmmaker, known for pushing boundaries within the Star Wars universe, made the remarks during a recent interview reflecting on his personal journey as both a fan and a contributor to the beloved franchise. And while he acknowledged that time and generational shifts have led to a reappraisal of the prequels, Johnson was clear. His initial reaction to the Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith was far from positive. We were brutal in the discussion. Johnson didn't hold back when describing how he and his peers received George Lucas prequel films in the late 90s and early 2000s. We were Prequel Hate Central, he said. My friends and I would gather and just tear them apart. Every weird line, every CGI decision, every awkward moment, we were obsessed with hating them. For Johnson, who grew up with the original trilogy, the tonal and stylistic shift introduced in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, felt jarring. I couldn't wrap my head around it, he recalled. This wasn't the Star Wars I had grown up with. It felt too shiny, too sterile, and the storytelling choices were so different from what I expected. This sentiment was far from uncommon at the time. Many fans of the original films were critical of the prequels' heavy reliance on digital effects, their exposition-heavy political plotlines, and the occasionally wooden performances. Jar Jar Binks, the Gungan sidekick from The Phantom Menace, became a lightning rod for fan dissatisfaction and internet memes alike. A newfound respect. But Johnson didn't stop at just throwing shade. He also acknowledged that his perspective on the prequels has shifted over to albeit not completely. I wouldn't say I love them now, but I do understand them better, he explained. And I really respect what George was trying to do. He wasn't just cashing in, he was building a story about the fall of democracy and the rise of tyranny, which is incredibly ambitious. The evolution of the prequels' reputation has been one of the more surprising developments in the Star Wars fandom. With a new generation raised on episodes I-3 and platforms like TikTok and YouTube filled with nostalgic fan edits and memes, the prequels have found new life and newfound defenders. Kids who were 8 or 9 when The Phantom Menace came out are now in their 30s, Johnson pointed out. And to them, those movies are Star Wars. That's the magic of generational storytelling. Your first Star Wars is always going to be the one you love the most, even if critics hated it. Ironic echoes in The Last Jedi. Ironically, Johnson's The Last Jedi would go on to face similar backlash to the prequels. Just as Lucas was slammed for subverting fan expectations with The Phantom Menace, Johnson's entry into the sequel trilogy was criticized by some fans for its bold narrative pivots, such as Luke Skywalker's disillusionment with the Jedi and the controversial Let the Past Die theme. It's funny, Johnson said. I remember thinking, this isn't my Star Wars when I watched the prequels. Then I made a film that made other people feel the same way. It's humbling. That self-awareness might help explain why Johnson has become more empathetic toward Lucas and his vision. George took risks, and whether people liked them or not, they were his to take, he said, and I think every filmmaker stepping into this universe owes him a debt. Fans react unsurprisingly. Johnson's comments have ignited another round of debate among Star Wars fans online. Some appreciated his honesty, while others felt vindicated for having supported the prequels all along. One fan wrote on X, formerly Twitter, Rian finally admits he hated the prequels just like so many of us did. Respect for the honesty. Another user countered, this is why he should have never been allowed to direct The Last Jedi. He never respected George's vision from the start. Others, however, saw his change in tone as growth. It takes maturity to admit your views evolve over time. He may not love the prequels, but he gets why they matter now, commented another. A full circle moment. While some may always view Johnson's The Last Jedi as a divisive chapter in the saga, there's no denying the strange full circle quality of his prequel comments. From an outspoken critic of episodes I to someone who, perhaps unwillingly, became a similar lightning rod for criticism. Rian Johnson's journey through the galaxy far away mirrors the very complexity of the franchise itself. Whether you agree with his take or not, one thing is clear: Star Wars continues to inspire passionate debates, strong opinions, and evolving perspectives across generations. And that, more than anything, might be the true legacy of George Lucas's space opera.